This is their thing. This is their promise. I shouldn't have to be talking about this. This was not my experience. Hey folks, Norb here. I picked up a pair of the Status Between Pro. Audiophile pleasing sound at a low cost. This is their thing. This is their promise. These normally sell for around $150 to $170. How good do they actually sound? And what's the trade-off for that sound at that price? Here are the key points. They sound fantastic, but there are enough quality issues and lack of features common at this price point that I have a hard time recommending these for most people. The Between Pro come in a nice looking package and include the case, the earphones, 3 wings and tips for different sizes, a charging cable, as well as some standard paperwork. The first thing you'll notice about these are the distinctive shape. No branding, just great looks. But wearing them wasn't my favorite experience. At first, even with the smallest size bits they include, my ears got irritated after a while wearing them. Eventually, I got used to them. They do fit very securely, so I'm not scared of these falling out. Still, for comfort, I give these a 2 out of 5. I really didn't like them. When it comes to interaction design, these are simple. No touch controls, just a single button at the top of each earphone. The controls are earphone dependent, so if you're only wearing one, you'll need to use your device to fully control things like volume and skipping songs. With a case, there's a good and bad. The good news is that these use USB-C. The bad is that the case isn't too friendly in the pocket. What is kind of annoying is that taking them out of the case is tricky. With all that said, for interaction and overall design, I give these a 3 out of 5. Build quality was a place where I had some questions. The good thing is that the earphones themselves feel like they were built well. Good plastic that are easy to hold and don't look gaudy. The buttons felt good and responsive, and while the wings felt a little bit more firm than I'd like, the quality of materials was okay. And of course, these have IPX5 waterproofing, so they should be okay if you get caught in rain or something. What really called build quality into question for me was this cable. The instructions are very clear to tell you that you should only use their cable for charging. The problem, the cable died, as in it didn't charge anymore. Dead in less than 2 weeks. This does not inspire confidence. So for build quality, I'll put these at a 2 out of 5. Status advertises 12-hour battery life in the earbuds and 3 more charges in the case, which adds another 36 hours. This was not my experience. I tested these by having them play music at 40% volume. At that volume, I got about 8 hours and 20 minutes of playtime from the left earbud and about 10 hours from the right earbud. I tested this again. Same result. I then tested again at 10% volume, and that was worse. Both of them died at about 8 hours. Because of this, my score is a 1 out of 5. Don't get me wrong, 8 hours is great, and realistically, few people will use them for 8 hours straight. But if you're gonna tell me 12 hours, I expect somewhere near that at about 50% volume, let alone 10%. These didn't get close, and that's unacceptable. Moving on to sound. The sound is without a doubt the single best thing these headphones had to offer. The overall sound is clear and more importantly detailed across all the ranges, bass, mids, and treble. Never muddy, even when I got that nice deep rumble from the bass. And these absolutely shine with acoustic music. So how does Status pull off this clear sound? One of the big selling points for these earphones is their triple driver system. In each earphone, there are 3 drivers. 2 of these are what are called balanced armature drivers. These are the kinds that are used for hearing aids and in higher end in-ear monitors, especially the kind you see musicians wearing on stage. These are very good at targeting frequency ranges and are especially good for the mids and the trebles. The thing with these drivers is that they're not all that good at bass, which is where the 3rd driver comes in. That one's a standard dynamic driver, which is the more common kind of driver you find in things like standard headphones or earbuds. That driver tends to provide a warmer sound and it's more cohesive, but it also tends to lose clarity. So Status combined all of these to offset their weaknesses, and that worked fantastically well. In-ear monitors with balanced armatures tend to be pricier, and I can't think of another true wireless earphone that uses them. So that's a pretty unique thing to these, especially at this price. Now, if you're an iPhone user, take note. These run a little bit loud on the iPhone. Finally, before I get to the score, a quick technical note. These can handle the SBC, AAC, and aptX codecs. Hey folks, post-edit Norb here. So I wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about the whole codec situation with the Between Pro, because there's something that I feel I need to call out. Status put out an advertisement for the Between Pro where they compare to the Apple AirPods Pro and the Bose Quiet Comfort, as well as something by Soundcore, I forget which one. In it, one of the things that they tout is that unlike the AirPods Pro and the Bose Quiet Comfort and the Soundcore device, They handle an audiophile codec. So now they're defining consumer codecs versus audiophile codecs. Consumer codecs being SBC and AAC. Audiophile codecs, meaning in this case, aptX. There's no such thing as an audiophile codec. There just isn't. aptX really isn't all that much better than either AAC or SBC, and arguably worse than AAC. I made a video about all of this. The link is above my head somewhere, and I'll put it in the description below. So go ahead and check it out. And in fact, if somebody from Status is watching this, you didn't need to do this. I shouldn't have to be talking about this. Look, just tout the fantastic sound. That's great. That's enough. That really is that good. And your 30-day warranty for, hey, return it for any reason, that's also fantastic. That's backing your product. That's great. I can't ask for anything more. But then you say something like this. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the scores real quick. 5 out of 5. For sound, these are absolutely just stupendous. Despite the volume issue on the iPhone, that's an iPhone thing. I'm not going to blame that on Status. And despite the aptX issue, which is, I'm going to go ahead and pin that on the marketing department, not the engineering department. The fact of the matter is these sound fantastic. So don't be fooled by the idea that aptX is supposed to be an audiophile codec. It's not. There's no such thing. But these sound fantastic, and just take that for what it is. Moving on to another area of sound, they have 4 external microphones and use the clear voice codec to help get the best possible call quality. Hey folks, here we are testing out the microphones in a quiet environment. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
All right, I'm testing out the microphones outside. It's a little bit windy, so you may hear some cars also on the side. So testing, 1, 2, 3.
Overall, I give voice calling a 5 out of 5. Connectivity was also an area that seemed good, but was marred by possible quality control issues. These use Bluetooth 5.2, and I get clear sound up to about 50 feet distance indoors with wooden walls along the way. That was great. These can only pair with one Bluetooth device at a time. To pair with another device, you have to first delete them from the first device. The only real issue that I had with connectivity was when I put them in the case. Sometimes they didn't disconnect from my device. I had to open the case and close it again, and that seemed to fix the issue. This happened a few times. For connectivity, I score them at a 2 out of 5 because of this disconnection issue. Now for my conclusions. Like in all my reviews, I'll look at different aspects of the product and grade each on a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 means I hate it, 2 means I don't like it, 3 means it's okay, 4 means that I like it, and 5 means that I love it. Next to me are my scores. My overall score is 2.9 out of 5. So, should you buy these? These are for people who want great quality sound above all else. If you don't really care about any additional features and you're not really worried about any of the other things that I mentioned, like the shorter battery life, the cable that died, or for that matter, comfort, which shouldn't because my ears and yours are different, go ahead and get these. If you tend to skew audiophile, then you'll probably be happy with these, although you'll be limited to either aptX or AAC. As for my issues with them, to Status's credit, they have a super responsive, fantastic support. That was a highlight in my experience. Yes, the component quality concerns me, but at least they back their product. Now, if watching this review has you looking for alternatives, check out both the AKG N400s and the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro, which are priced in the same range and provide great sound, plus active noise canceling and in-app EQ. They have dynamic drivers, so while the sound on those is warmer, the sound on the Between Pro is more detailed. If you want even more features, then the Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds and the AirPods Pro are worth a look, but they're more expensive. If you're looking for battery life beyond those 8 hours, you have options like the Mastering Dynamic MW08, the Edifier TWS1 Pro, and the LiProtect PurePlay Z3 2.0. Anyway, with that, thank you very much for joining me. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up button. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more. And with that, I'll see you next time.